Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. I had a question recently from a viewer asking, what if we just waited 50 days after release before we bought anything? Would everything be cheaper? And the question was maybe a little bit tongue-in-cheek and a little bit serious, and I thought it was a really good one. And there are a couple answers to this. I'm going to give you first the actual exact answer based on data we have for recent sets, but then I'm going to give you somewhat of a more theoretical answer. So if we just pull up everything here, everything that has gone out to 50 days post-release that we have data for, collector boxes for these four sets, and we just look over here at 7-day moving average prices, of course we see Double Masters 2022 went up a little bit, maybe $20 a box, and the purple line is Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Of course that went way up as people got a taste of the Neon Parallel Chase cards. The red line, Baldur's Gate, crashed as everybody got full realization of the rug pull that WotC had pulled on them. And then the yellow line, Streets of New Capenna. Yeah, I think there's just a lot of disappointment in that set all around. And so two of those went up, two went down. Maybe not a lot of interesting conclusions to draw from that. And let's go over here to set boxes and we'll look at the same thing, except we only have 3 sets here. And, we should have Double Masters, so that was my mistake. There we go. Okay. So this one is more interesting because what you can see is that basically set boxes just about bottom out near their break-even price and don't move a ton. Now, the red line of Kamigawa, we know that Kamigawa set boxes took a big leg up a little later in their life cycle off the right-hand side of this horizontal axis, and they were in short supply for quite a while until they got a reprint wave and it brought the supply back up and the prices back down. But we can see that all 3 of these, 2 of them are standard and then there's Baldur's Gate, all just kind of held level. And Double Masters 2022, which is purple on this plot, it went down just a little bit. And so we might say, yeah, we were trying to mitigate risk and maybe get in at lower average prices, waiting 50 days after release to buy set boxes would be a good idea. But here's where we'll go away from the exact answers based on the data we have, and we'll talk more about the kind of bigger theoretical answer to this question, which is it depends on what kind of market you're in. And so you could imagine, let's say the doomers got their way and we finally had the economic apocalypse they've been dreaming of, the one that they've prognosticated 32 times in the last 3 years, and the bottom totally falls out of the economy, unemployment goes to 15%, businesses are closing left and right, the stock market drops 80%. Well, in that kind of atmosphere, you'd expect all these magic boxes to go way down in price. And, WotC has very long lead times for getting products into production, getting it through the distribution network. So they could not react by cutting print sizes fast enough. And so in that kind of scenario, yeah, the longer you wait, maybe the better the price gets. Maybe out past 50 days, out to 100 days or so, it's even better and better and better. But now let's imagine the opposite scenario, okay? So let's say that... let's say we have a booming economy and the unemployment rate is down at 2.5%, and interest rates are low, so money's being borrowed and all these new economic opportunities present themselves and the good times are rolling. Well, you'd expect a lot of irrational exuberance and prices to go up, and you would expect boxes to be getting consumed and consumed and consumed because consumers would feel confident. They'd have more money in their pocket, they'd feel okay spending it on ridiculous magic cards, and they would buy up what's out there. And so 50 days post-release of a product, you may be getting really crunched on how much is left in the market before reprints hit or secondary release waves hit. And in that kind of case of a charging bull market, you would expect these prices to go up at the 50-day mark over what they were at release date. And so the kind of higher level theoretical answer to this is that it depends on what kind of market you're in. And it was a really good question because the person was making a good observation that it seemed to them like every product is dropping in price after it comes out, but It was also a good question in that it allows us to highlight that we're kind of in this period right now where we're in this really bad bear market for TCGs. And because of that, prices are dropping after things come out in general. And, there will always be a little more excitement for a product on release day. People want to get it in their hands right then. And, there's a small amount of players in the TCG world who are completely price insensitive. It does not matter what the price is. They'll just buy it to enjoy it. And those people will always support the price on release day. And then when we're in a market like today, you go 50 days out from that, enthusiasm ramps down as people get their fill of the product. Collectors and investors, maybe they buy up the positions they want, and prices fall. But if we were in a real strong bull market in the more wide macro economy, then we would see the opposite effect. We would see more and more and more uptake, more enjoyment, more casual buying, things like that, and it would push prices up headed into the 50-day mark. So those are my thoughts on that subject. I thought it was just a wonderful question. It's the kind of question that this is why I love doing Final Trade, is because people will ask me things like that, and it gives me an opportunity to arrange my thoughts in a way to kind of share with you guys, and hopefully we all learn something from this. So let me know what you think. Any interesting counter arguments or other examples or ideas or thoughts you have on it, or other interesting questions you ponder that you could contribute to the discussion here. Otherwise, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Consider joining the Patreon and join me on Final Trade. Thanks a lot.